Welcome to AI Minds Lab, where AI takes over.
Welcome back, everyone. So Google decided to drop this anti-gravity. I've been playing around with it for almost a week now. It seems like they are hell-bent in absolutely destroying the competition. So we used Cursor because windsurf was just really going downhill, and I downloaded this because it comes part of, if you have a Gemini Pro subscription, it comes part of it. Now, the awesome thing about this is, if you look at the models they have, it's absolutely crazy. Obviously, you have your Opus, you have your Sonnet, and the thinking was they use a lot of credits. So the tokens that, there's a token limit because it keeps using it. But I think we can just continue on with the same project that I imported, just like we imported to Cursor. And if you see, it's using the same VS Code style basically the VS Code. It is VS, it's essentially, I think all of them are running on VS Code. Now, the cool thing is that we can have multiple ways. You can have planning fast. Now, obviously, the planning is probably a little better because it will carefully look through exactly what we need and so on and so forth. Now, we don't have the history of the conversations. So we know we had, from the last episode, we know we had something that's sort of running. So what we need to do first is, because it's been a little more than a week, so apologies for that, but let's do this. And this is kind of something that will help you with vibe coding, and this is called vibe coding. It'll help you out if you do indeed jump from IDE to IDE. This will kind of help you refresh your memory if you forgot the conversations, or if something happens, the application crashed and so on. Anything's possible. So let's see. Audit the project folder and give me the current status of the builds. Can't spell. Builds and next steps, because I think it should have probably checked because I did the import from Cursor, so I'm assuming it should have imported the conversation as well, but we'll find out. As with Cursor. Okay, let's see. So, tool usage, yep, now focusing on such and such. Let's see. Okay, so let's come back to it and then see what Gemini Pro, it's using Gemini Pro. I think it uses this and then it picks the best case. So the best next model, depending on what the query is. I think that applied similarly to Cursor as well. But let's see, we'll pause and come back to it as soon as this is done. And we have the results. Now, the cool thing I noticed is that it has Chrome inbuilt. So just like Cursor and the others, they had, I think it was using Electron, I'm not sure 100%. But this is using Chrome, which is obviously it's Google, so it makes sense. But it's a nifty little feature to have. I think it keeps it all in the same ecosystem. So this is the audit report it generated. It took a little bit of a while, but it's not too bad. Modern turbo repo plus blah blah blah. Again, we're going to sort of pretend that we don't know what any of this means. Right, so current status, it means it is failing. Sorry, my antivirus. Let's just move that away. Okay, breakdown, blah, blah, blah. recommended steps. The database package is structurally incomplete. We need to scaffold it before anything else. Fix database package, database initialization. Ooh, so let's carry out. Okay, so from the audit, let's carry out step 1, 2, 3. Let me just be specific. In okay, now let that do its business. While we're sort of waiting, I'm not going to pause the video just now. I think it's interesting to really appreciate this tool for what it is. I think it's very, very well done. Again, you know, they're all running on VS Code. So if you actually download VS Code, you'll see now between the three, let's say Windsurf, Cursor, and Antigravity, I think Antigravity as an IDE is less clunky. It's a little bit more refined. Cursor was good. Windsurf, I think the interaction with Windsurf was just fantastic, but there was you'd face a lot of issues on the IE itself. I faced a lot on the Mac version. I didn't really face anything on the Windows version as we were doing this, but it's just something to note. And I think, and this is not really a bias, it's more a comparison because this is the third tool we've been using. So it's more of, I think Google have looked at the issues and have refined it better. Now, one of the issues that I did have, and this was with both Windows and Mac for Windsurf, was that when you open the tool, it shows, you know, code with Cascade. Essentially, Cascade is their version of this agent that we had, and in Cursor it was, I think it was called Compose, something like that. So that was very, very unstable, even though there was like so many updates coming back and forth from Windsurf. It was very, very jittery, especially the plugins. When you add it to maybe Android Studio or have it interact with Xcode. So I think that's something, you know, Windsurf should really work on, because again, don't get me wrong, I've used Windsurf for many, many months, and I think it was probably it was definitely a fantastic starting point. But I think now with Antigravity, I don't need to use it as a plugin in Android Studio. I just need to run everything directly from here. It'll probably run better. And if it's anything Mac related, I can have this running on Mac and then just you know, tell it to instruct it, prompt it, whatever you want to say, to build a project for Xcode. And then the only thing you need to do, and this is a very Apple thing, you need to still open Xcode and open the project and then compile it there and so on and so forth, just so that you can view it. So this is, again, this is it's just, I mean, this is a preference. If you have done vibe coding, or if you haven't, let me know what you're starting with. Let me know in the comments, and you know, let's compare notes, because I think it's probably a preference, or maybe it's just an experience standpoint, but I think it's definitely worth noting that, you know, some of these IDEs run better than the others. I think Microsoft did a very good job setting the bar, so essentially building VS Code, and then basically all of these other companies, they just adopted it, and some adopted it absolutely fantastically, and others maybe just need to mature a bit more. So let's see, worked. I've successfully carried out this. So let's just run this in the preview browser. Okay, run the application in the IDE. Okay, let's see what it does here. And then you will see. I noticed one thing with Gemini. Gemini does a lot more thinking than, something like Opus 4.6 thinking. So Gemini is very, very hell-bent on planning, which is good, but at the same time, it takes probably a little bit more time to do that. But in saying that, I've used Gemini for creating videos, and as you all know, the intro and outro is created by Gemini, which I think is brilliant, and it did a really, really good job. So that's definitely something to take into account. I think Gemini is a very, very powerful tool, and it's just going to get even more powerful considering the amount of resources that Google has. It kind of makes sense, but yeah, that's one of those things. Now let's see, if you're ready, you can open the browser. All right, let me see what else it's doing, and we'll come back when the browser is up and running. Okay, so it opened it in its browser. If you can see, it's not a browser that I've signed into. So this is the browser that actually comes with the IDE, which is quite cool. Now it's done, it's loaded everything, and I think we're in a good position to move on. So let's look at the prompts now. We need to look at what we need to do moving forward, right? So let's do this a different way. We can suggest what functionality is missing, perhaps, or okay, you know what, let's do this. So we're a bit more structured. List the, if I can spell, list the functionality that is missing, plan, and then implement. Now let's see what I just want to show. At least, yeah, this keeps doing that, to be honest with you. It says this whole thing. Google need to look at this because it gives this whole life story of anti-gravity, which is, but anyhow, so it's analyzing. All right, let's come back to this once it's done. Once it's done its piece, and then we'll see. Okay, let's look at the summary. I've reviewed the architecture and current code base. There are several core modules missing in this platform: employment scheduling, backend and front-end, clinical notes, prescriptions. This is basically making it an entire comprehensive ERP. Now, in being conscious of not making this video way too long and boring you out of your minds, I will instruct Gemini to go ahead and do this, and then we will just see if we can get a demo in by the end of the video. So let's put the prompt in, and then as usual we'll make a pause and then come back when hopefully we have a good output. So since we can reliably connect to a database right now because Docker is closed on your machine, okay, we'll open Docker, that's not a problem. My plan focus, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I will start Docker, implement 1, appointments, scheduling, and we'll do both backend and front end. And I'll let you know exactly how long this will take. Yeah, let's go ahead and execute that, and we'll come back. Okay, cool thing over here is it is up. So if I try to interact, agent running, controls disabled. It's really, really cool. And funny thing is, as soon as I put the first prompt in, Gemini says, oh, I've got a lot to think about, which I think is a nice little quirky touch that Google decided to put in there. But I did put another prompt in, and I'm waiting to put, you can see password admin, another prompt in, so we have a proper user and username and password to physically log in. So there's kind of something that you can relate to as a user interface. But yeah, I mean, it's taking a very, very long time. So stand by. I thought I'd just show this. I think this is a really, this is the first time I'm seeing something like this. It's obviously creating everything in the background and testing all the APIs and endpoints and everything like that. But I thought I'd just quickly pop this up to show you how far it's coming along. And we'll come back when it's completely done and refined. Okay, and we are back. Now, this is absolutely awesome. And to think that AI has done this by itself with a few prompts, given it's taking time, but you have to be patient with this. Now, something cool. Sign in, continue with Keycloak. Oh, I already signed in. And yeah, there you go. It's got this. We've got patients, appointments. Oh, come on. Now I haven't really tested anything else. Let's see if we can put in a new patient. Let's see if it works. Ooh, okay. Something lame. Test, I guess. Test again. And no middle name. We just put 0101. I don't know. Should we go millennial or Gen Z? I'm feeling Gen Z. Let's do that. Is that Gen Z? I think that is Gen Z. You know what? Let's just do 2003. Oh. Let's just do 2003. Is it 2003? Yeah. Okay. Gender, who cares? Blah, blah, blah. Well, nothing seems to be mandatory here, but who cares? Let's just do that. Ooh, wow. It created the patient. Let's go back to the list. Oh, come on. Now that, I mean, if that's not worth a bit, I don't know what is. Now let's see appointments. Okay, let's try this. Oh, so this doesn't work. Okay, at least we can create a patient. So I think, let me just, okay, no, that's not working. So we'll work on that, I think, in the next episode. But come on, let's just be fair here. I think this is brilliant. Let's see if the search function works. And let's just MRN. Obviously we have that, but let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah, it does work. Okay, brilliant. So we are good for just a few episodes. It seems promising. The one thing I did notice, if I sign out and I just sign back in and continue, it just goes back in. So it doesn't actually sign me out, which is something that, I mean, these are more snags anyways when you have an MVP ready. But I think this is really, really cool. It's definitely, Gemini has outdone itself. So we know that technically we've partially done both of these, and then we have these modules to do. So it's more of, let's just finish this completely, make sure this is working, and then this is working. Or if you think you have a different approach would make more sense, that we have the basics of everything done as a quote-unquote MVP, and then we can sort of drill down into more of the details and see how we can get that up and running. But I think it's really cool. But there is one thing that I have been researching into. I think to create a product, not necessarily we have to do it on a virtual environment, which is Docker, like I explained. We probably have to look at essentially installing all of these services on the physical machine to test it so it's not virtualized. But I think what we can do is do everything virtual first, and then we create a little exe file and executable and installer to install physically on a machine. And we can do that on a separate VM. Probably have to do that. I think that'll probably have to wait for a good few number of episodes until we get that up and running. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely awesome. It's, we've got lists here. We can actually enter, database is running. This is, I guess, a pseudo one that was generated whilst it was doing its unit testing. But yeah, keep in mind that I think Gemini is absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously Claude gets a lot of points for being very powerful, but Gemini is extremely thorough. extremely thorough, which I think is great. But again, I mean, no AI is perfect. But yeah, let's see what we come up with in the next episode. This is really, really exciting stuff. So until then, if you do enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. Let's support us so we can generate more projects, bring more content to you. And moving forward, again, like I said, if you have any opinions on maybe how I should be doing the prompts, I'm sure there's a lot more very experienced programmers out there. So if there are, if you have any suggestions how I can improve it to better the output, feel free to let me know. And if you have any other project ideas, drop them in the comments, and then we'll sort of brainstorm and maybe take a vote. Which project should we do next? Maybe run in parallel. I am doing another series based on the tools and certain tools that are available. I kind of grouped that into this episode because I think anti-gravity is just absolutely brilliant. So moving forward, we'll just stick to this, and I'm going to just leave it with Gemini because I think Gemini doesn't get as much credit as it should. But well done, Google, and I'll see you all in the next one.